Hey, what's up guys? It's been a really long time again since I've made a video, and there's a lot of life that's happened in the midst of that. I've just God doing some new things, God removing some relationships I thought he wouldn't, and also just a shift in what my life looks like. And it's so good, but in the midst of this last month and a half or so, I've really felt like I've been kind of stuck in the dark, kind of stuck in this dark time of not being able to see clearly what God is trying to do, and not being able to see clearly of what his plans are for me. And it makes me think about Jeremiah 29:11, where God is actually speaking to the Israelites in the midst of exile, in the midst of slavery, that for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans for a hope and a future. And I just think that's so good because in context, it's talking about how they're going to stay in slavery for 70 years. And they have all these false prophets around them that are telling them like, no. It's going to be quick. It's going to be painless. The process won't take very long. But God comes back and basically says that's not true. I actually want you to settle down. I want you to multiply. I want you to become part of where you're at. Because it's going to take longer than what you think. And it just got me asking the question to myself of how many times has God actually told me that, like, hey, I know you want a quick out. I know you're kind of seeking for somebody to give you the out. You're kind of seeking for something to give you the out. But what I'm telling you is actually slow down, settle down, and become part of what I have going on for you. For I know the plans I have for you, and they're not to harm you. But it also makes me think about so when you plant a tree, right? You start off typically from its very core. You start off with a seed and you plant it in the dirt. And that soil protects, that soil brings nutrients, that soil helps that seed grow. And so often I believe what God is trying to do in our lives is most of it's in seed form. But if we look at that in the life of a seed has to stay in darkness. It has to stay in the soil until it grows deep roots, until it's ready to actually pop out of the ground. And I believe that's what God's trying to do in my life. And I believe that that's what he's trying to do in all of our lives, and just trying to figure out what that actually looks like for us. Even with photographs, how they used to be, photos had to stay in the dark room until they were ready, because if you were to shine light in there, you would ruin the photo. And just like with the seed, if you were to pick the seed and remove it before it was ready, you would kill it. It would ruin it. And so I challenge you to think about, where in your life are you feeling in exile? Are you feeling in the dark? For some, it's probably singleness. Others, it could be your job situation. It could be emotions, depression. It could be your family life. It could be anything. But rather than having the mindset of, I just want a quick out. And don't get me wrong, I do believe sometimes God does give us quick outs. Sometimes God does show up instantaneously. But other times, I believe that the work that he's doing in us, the process that he's trying to accomplish, is actually so much bigger and so much more vast that it's more of a challenge and more beneficial for us to stay the course, to stay in the dark, to experience all that place that darkness has for us. And I believe that we're going to see God move in much more powerful ways than before. And so I just ask and challenge you to have that perspective shift of, instead of, God, just take me out of this sucks, this is horrible, this hurts maybe, and say, God, what are you trying to do? Like, what's the bigger picture? Or even just have the mindset of, okay, God, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what your plans are, but I trust that your plans are to prosper me and not to harm me, and they're to give me a hope and a future. Because God just loves you way too much to leave you in the dark room for no reason. Sometimes it's more important that he prunes away, he cuts off dead branches, he removes things, he moves you for your growth, for what's best for you, because God always has your best in mind. But he lets us choose what we're going to follow and what we're going to get hung up on. So I hope that's encouraging. I hope you can pull something out of that. I hope that brings light into the darkness that you may be feeling right now. And yeah, I hope that encourages you. So love you guys.